Good night, viewers. Welcome to Acts 25. Welcome to Community Corner, the program where we highlight different projects and news coming out of the communities throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And it's always a pleasure to be here in your company. We hope that you will stay with us for the next hour as we bring you another interesting and enlightening program here at Acts 25. Tonight we are joined by members of the Jericho Project. Jericho Project is a non-profit, non-governmental organization, and we are here tonight to discuss the march that is on Sunday, the 22nd of April. The march entitled is Justice for Children, and I guess this march has something to do with the ills of what is happening in our society with children. So first of all, let me take this opportunity to invite Mr. Paul Daniel Nahos, the chairman of the Youth Arm. It's a pleasure to have you.
Very good to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
And we have Ms. Janelle Poon-Kong Glenn. She is the head of the South Committee. It's a pleasure. Thank you. And we have our good friend, Sharice Baliram, who is also a member of the Southern Committee. It's a pleasure, Sharice.
Nice to be here.
And let me say thanks for inviting. You were responsible for having them here today to tell us about this project. First of all, let me go to the chairman of the Youth Committee. Before we go into details, could you give us a brief history on the Jericho Project, how it was formed, and what is the aims and the objective of this organization?
Well, as you know, especially in a religious network, the Jericho Project was from Scripture. It was about breaking down the walls of Jericho in a peaceful manner, through faith and through dedication, through social dedication. You can call it a social activist movement. It was born really out of the crisis that happened in Haiti and then the crisis in Somalia, where we began getting canned foods and different types of aid to them. Eventually realized that, okay, we're trying to break down walls worldwide, but there are so many walls up in Trinidad and Tobago that we haven't broken down as yet. And it eventually evolved into a humanitarian organization locally. We realized that we can't even hope to help anyone outside our country until we help our own country first. So in short, it's a non-profit, non-governmental organization, Trinidad and Tobago. We do humanitarian work at all levels of society, from rich to poor, from north to south. We help wherever help is needed. We seek to help wherever help is needed, and through non-violent activities. So we have marches, petition drives. Everything we do is we seek to be progressive, but the main aim is to be, well, we do things to influence politics in terms of getting things done for citizens of the island. We are non-politically affiliated though. We do work for anyone in Trinidad who needs help, Trinidad and Tobago who needs help.
Okay. Well, let's go in quickly to the march that is carded for Sunday the 22nd, Justice for Children. What is this march all about? Now, I see here you all have hotlines, rescue facilities, Justice for Children, you know, and school guidance and counseling, a whole list of things. But what this march really is about on Sunday?
This march, we are asking, I've always outlined, since they've asked about that, I've outlined three main things we want. We want the passing of legislation to protect children. We want an expanded social services program. And we want proper relief centers and relief facilities for children. If you're out to break down now into what let's expand, I should say, expand on my points. The first one is the children's bill is what is being pushed right now in Parliament for protection of the children. Formerly, we went under the Children Act 4601, Section 4601 of the law. It's very old laws. The laws, I've always said, they are archaic. They are not anything that we can go by in society right now. In 2000, amendments were made to the Act, which basically changed some ages and did some minor touch-ups on the Act, but it was insufficient still. I mean, things like you send your child out to be prostituted and these kind of these really heinous activities, right? This kind of thing where you train your children to be criminals and deviants of society. You get a fine for, I believe the bill is marked $1,000 for the fine. I think we can agree that's ridiculous. You know, they make it, let's be honest, they will make more money prostituting their child in a week then they'll make enough to pay $1,000 fine. The children's bill, it must be amended. There are certain things that must be changed in it, but it's on the back burner right. It's past the first reading in Parliament. It was scheduled to have a second reading on March 9th. Nothing has been heard of it so far. It's definitely on the back burner right now, but we have to bring it to the forefront, and we're pushing the government of the nation to push it onto the front burner. Let's make this an important issue as we settle now. As it stands, as I said, it needs amendments. There are loopholes in it, but we're looking at a $1,000 fine for letting your child run wild and criminal activities, as opposed to a $200,000 fine and 5 years imprisonment. I think we know which one out of those is going to deter someone from it more. Yeah. The bill as it stands right now, it has very strict penalties, very, very strict penalties, where if you commit a crime against a child, special consideration be given to the act, to the crime, to the sentencing, and you can face a multitude of years in prison, one, and two, you can face over $250,000 fine. I think that will deter a lot of people from committing crimes against children. Of course, legislation now is one step in it. Now we have the enforcement legislation, which, as we know in this country, has always been an issue. Yeah. And the second point I was on was expanded social services. We need to give the social workers more authority. Under the current law, unless the legal guardian wants something to be done, or basically death has occurred, nothing can be done to take a child out of a dangerous environment. We want them to expand social services, more social workers, better trained social workers, so that we actually pass the law, and then we have everything set up for the social workers to go into somewhere and say, no, the child has a burn mark, because under the current law, it's illegal to burn a child. But again, I think the fine is somewhere around $1,000 for burning a child. Now, to pick up an iron and to burn it to a child's skin, there must be something wrong with someone's mentality to do that. I believe that.